welcome everybody to this afternoon's meetings. My name is Greg Kitson. Just a little housekeeping to begin with. We've got two meetings this afternoon. First meeting is going to be the Board of Zoning Appeals. And then when that is over, we'll immediately go into a meeting of the Plan Commission. So there are two different things before us this afternoon. So with that, I would like to call the Board of Zoning Appeals of the City of Decatur meeting to order. Got some housekeeping for BZA to take care of. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of March 1st as distributed?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are accepted as distributed. We passed the proof of publication previously. Would like to make that a matter of record.
So moved.
Second.
Give Mr. Haggard a moment to review the two documents. Any questions? Have a motion and a second to make them a matter of record. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The notice of publication and the notice of, well, let's do this as a separate item. Excuse me. The notice of publication is made a matter of record. I also have an affidavit of notice of public hearing for the BZA where the applicant, David Gonzalez, notified his surrounding property owners. I'd like to make that a matter of record. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to make that a motion. And those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The notification of the surrounding property owners is a matter of record. Tim Baker, the city attorney, had a previous commitment, and he's not going to be here this evening. He is available by phone if we need him for anything. Sharon will be taking minutes in his absence as the secretary for the board. And Roger Gage, the city building department director, has training that he's attending, and he's not able to be here also. So I wanted to make sure that was in the record. So, petition for the board. David Gonzalez, 1404 Master Drive, Decatur, Indiana, is requesting a variance of the side yard setback requirements in an R1 residential single-family zoning to construct a carport 1 foot from the north property line. Refer to City Code, Section 150.046. Is Mr. Gonzalez here?
Yes.
David? Mr. Gonzalez or his representative?
Yeah, you got better hearing.
If you could come over and come to the podium so we can record what you're saying and just briefly state the request.
Okay, the request is to put a lean-to on the side of my house, come back 1 foot past the line because my driveway is right up against the line. So we got a 50-foot base, I guess, line, and we have to go 1 foot past that to put it in. And we're going to store our camper in there. It's for a camper for our covers, you know, that's what it is.
The side setback in R1 zoning is 10 feet, so you're requesting a variance
Yes.
of 9 foot from the 10-foot side setback to be able to build 1 foot from the property
1
line.
foot from the property line, yes.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Okay, we just want to stay there for a moment. Any questions from the board for the applicant?
No, the lot beside you is owned by
Soya,
Bungie.
Central Soya, or Bungie.
Or Central Soya.
Yeah.
That's who I work for.
Yeah.
You're going to be Soya forever.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the bottom.
Yeah,
That's the north side right next to that lot.
right next to that lot, yeah. It'll be 1 foot in, yes.
And when you say in,
It'll be
over,
basically right at the line is where we're going, the 50-foot mark line. We want to sit right on top of that line and go across, which is only like 4 inches from our driveway to begin with. So,
But again, to clarify, the request for the variance is 9 foot from the
Yes.
10-foot setback.
yes,
So you can build, and those posts can be 1 foot from the property line, not the 1 inch or 4 inches
no,
that
that's
you
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. You have a 1 foot setback with this request for variance.
yes.
Okay. Any additional questions from the board for the applicant?
I don't know.
I have none. No.
Okay, I have one question. When you said you're gonna build a lean-to, do you mean a canopy carport?
It's gonna be connected to the house and come off the house like I guess a canopy, yes.
But it will
It'll be
be open on 3 sides?
Yeah, it should be open on 3 sides, yeah.
Okay, and to clarify that point, you would still have to submit your plans for that to the building department for their approval.
Okay,
The variance that we're granting or considering today is just for the location of those posts to
Okay.
be within 1 foot of the property line.
Okay.
You would still have to submit and be approved by the building department for the carport lean-to, whatever you choose to call that.
okay,
Okay? Because we don't have the right as the BZA to give you the right to build that structure. That has to be approved by the building department.
okay, yes.
And the only reason I asked about if the building was open, because if it is enclosed, anything within 3 feet of the property line has to be fire protected.
Right,
So it
yeah.
might make a difference on the board.
Yeah, it's gonna be opened up all the way around,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, David.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in attendance in opposition to Mr. Gonzalez's application? Hearing nobody, is there anybody that would like to speak in favor of Mr. Gonzalez's application? Nobody on either side, then. Do we have any additional questions from the board for the applicant before we read the findings of fact?
No.
3 noes. What we're going to do now is read the findings of fact, which are 6 questions that this board must take into consideration. A yes answer means the request is being approved. A no answer means that you're disagreeing with it and it would not be approved, and we're voting with a majority of the board. So I will poll each of members of the board. I will read the questions. I, as chairman, don't vote unless there's a tie. So, with 4 people in attendance, there will not be a tie this afternoon. So, first finding of fact. The granting of the variance will not permit any use in any district which would be in conflict with the permitted uses of the district under the terms of this chapter.
Yes.
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 3 yeses. It will not impair an adequate supply of light or air to adjacent property.
Yes.
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 3 yeses. It will not unreasonably increase the congestion in public streets.
Yes.
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 3 yes. It will not increase the danger of fire or of public safety.
Yes.
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 3 yes. It will not unreasonably diminish or impair established property values within the surrounding area.
Yes.
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 3 yes. It will not in any other respect impair the public health, comfort, safety, morals, or welfare of the inhabitants of the city.
Yes.
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 3 yes. It is therefore the decision of the board that this petition for variance is granted or denied.
Granted.
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 Subject to any conditions? David, your request for variance of the side yard setback of 10 foot to 1 foot is granted with no restrictions. Thank you very much. Good luck on your construction. Make sure you get your questions clarified with the building department.
All right.
Is there any old business before the BZA this afternoon? New business for consideration? Do we have a future meeting scheduled? No BZ applications at this time. Any conversation, comment, or questions from the board?
None.
Hearing none, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I so move.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our meeting stands adjourned. Look,
I thought they was gonna hear one of the...
your plan commission, Greg.
Oh, sure, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Easy, great.
That's why we're waiting to be in there all the time. Right.
Okay, ready to go. I'm all set. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. You received the minutes via email. Are there any additions or for the previous meeting? Are there any additions or corrections to those? If not, do I hear a motion to accept them as emailed?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. I passed around the presentation of the proof of publication and also the affidavit for the public hearing. We need to make both of them a matter of record.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made to make the affidavit of public hearing and the proof of publication matter of record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Okay, before us this afternoon, we have a petition from Greg Townsend / TMC Investment Company representing rezoning a property located at 505 and 511 East Monroe Street, Decatur, Indiana 46733, from R1 residential to C2 commercial. The application would like to make a presentation to the board for the applicant.
As you know, the state highway is going to drastically change my corner out there. And in 2013, I petitioned the board to rezone that 128 Belmont property, which you did. We tore it down and put parking lot in there, and we're finding out now we're not going to have enough room because we're going to lose access to the front of that building. There's going to be no curb cut off 224, and we've already put an overhead door in the back, the rear of my building, and we're going to put bays in there in the old warehouse so we can work in the back, and virtually the front's going to be pretty much shut down. We may have to build an office. We're going to wait till the highway's done before we actually do it, but it looks like we're going to have to build an office and showroom on the back, and so then we're going to need additional parking and stuff. It looks like the front's going to be pretty much unusable. And so I wanted to get this rezoned, because once they start this highway project, because they're going to do, from what I understand, they're going to do from my place to the bridge on St. Mary's first, and then from my place the other way second. And once they do that first phase, we're going to see where we're going to be at pretty quickly, I think. So we may have to start tearing stuff down out back. And I didn't want to be in a position where we're going to have to start doing something and not zoned properly and all that. So I was trying to get things zoned ahead of time is what what I'm trying to do.
If I recall, Greg, with you having a zone commercial, you have a little bit more clout when it comes to egress on the highway there.
Yeah.
If you're commercial, the curb cuts and everything will be a little bit more to your liking.
Yes. And see, at the front end, I fought with them already. I mean, we was in court and everything else, and they won't give me any relief out front whatsoever. So everything's going to depend on what we get done behind the building. Of course, it was all residential back there until you rezoned part of it in 13, and now it looks like I'm going to have to rezone some more. That's why I'm here. We're not going to be able to go with what we got. I don't believe. It don't look like it. So it'll be a matter of we'll have to tear at least one, maybe both those houses down and put parking in there. We won't be building on that.
Right.
We need it for parking. We won't need any more room for actual building, but we're going to have some room for parking.
Thought you said something about building an office.
Pardon?
I thought you said something about building an office.
Yeah, on the back.
On the back.
That's on the property we already have.
Okay, right.
Yeah. That'll be on property that we already have.
Right.
So if we use up the property we've got, then where are we going to park cars and where our customers going to be?
So that's your full intention, basically a parking lot?
Yes, that's it. What you're zoning right now will be used for nothing but parking. because we have enough room already to do any building we want to do, but we're losing all of our parking.
From what that was zoned in 2013.
Yeah, yeah.
Are there any further questions from the board regarding to the applicant?
No.
Okay, at that time, we'll hear comments from people in opposition. We ask you limit to your comments to 2 minutes per person. Please state your name and address. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition?
It's not really opposition, I just have a concern.
Okay?
May I come up there?
Sure.
My name is Roger Bittner. I live on the corner of East Monroe and Harvester Lane. The house you might want to tear down is kind of just about across from me. I don't really care what he does, but I'd like to, he's got kind of like a hill along East Monroe there by the sidewalk. And I kind of like to keep that hill there and maybe extend it east down toward the fence and maybe put some trees on it so I don't have to look out there and see all them cars and trucks parked there. It's just, you know. I had talked to Greg about it, so.
What we did the last time, Gary was here the last time, when I tore the other house down, and Gary, his concern was that I didn't put water over on him, and I promised Gary I wouldn't do that, and it's finished now, and Gary was there, and he watched them excavate it and watched them set the grade. But we won't have the grade completely set until the highway's done, because we don't know our elevations yet. So once we get our elevations, then we can put our drains in and pave it, and we'll make, like I told Gary, and he knows I'm not putting water on him, which I won't. And Roger already talked to me, and I'll take care of Roger. I'm sure we can do that. Because we're not going to need every inch of that land. We can still put a little, we could leave a little mound there, put some trees in, that's no problem.
Yeah, just kind of hide the cars, and if they got trucks parked there or something like that, just, that's about all. There's already a nice hill there, you probably wouldn't have to, just move a little dirt, you wouldn't have to really cost you a whole lot.
Yeah, really, the elevation there is high enough right now, that we'll be cutting it down, we would have cut down on the highway, we got a lane along the highway.
It goes into
Just make the house up to cut the,
It goes
back
on
part.
the east side. And there's also a drive across from me, so he has access to that garage back there. He's got a little garage on the south side. I was wondering if that's going to stay open, or...
I doubt it, I imagine if we take the house down, we'll take the garage too.
Okay, and then probably extend that little hill all the way to the end there, to the fence? Yeah, that's, I don't really have objection, that's just,
Okay.
kind of pretty.
Okay, good enough, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
As an observation, Mr. Townsend's request today is for a zoning change, and the Plan Commission would make a recommendation to City Council, and City Council would actually make the change. If this was a site plan review, your request could be a provision of that site plan review, but I'm not sure that it's relevant or something that we can really comment on for a zoning change.
That's okay, I just kind of
Just
wanted
kinda-
to say my piece, so...
Yes.
Hopefully we have a gentleman's agreement between the two of you,
Just sitting home and not
it'll be
saying
taken
nothing,
care
getting
of.
all
Yeah.
irritated.
If it was a site plan review, that could definitely be made part of the site plan.
And when Mr. Townsend starts to develop the parking lot, he'll have to bring it into the building department for review, because he does need to maintain green space, depending on how many parking spaces he has.
Yeah, like there's just a little barrier there.
So
not-
there
not a
is,
fence, not a fence.
in the future, as he develops this, additional opportunities for you
Okay.
to make that request.
Okay, well, I didn't know how this works, so I thought I'd come and say something, and
Appreciate
instead of
it.
sitting at home and stewing about something. Okay, thank you very much.
Good, thank you.
But again, that's why I brought that up. This is a request for a zoning change,
I understand.
and that's not something that we typically would deal with. That's a site plan review.
Yeah,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition?
My name is Gary Meyer, and I own the property at 122 Belmont Road, which runs from the highway to Aug Street. And my property is right next to both of his properties, pretty much so. But what I was asking is, when they do that and take all that out, if they can put some kind of, I'm the same way as him, some kind of shrubbery or something off of off the property line. Property line, you're supposed to build a fence or whatever, at 2 foot. But I'd like to have it, make it at least 3 foot, so when the tree or bushes spread out, that they're still on his property and not on mine. A lot, somewhat can be.
Okay, I think the same thing is true as Greg explained just previously.
Yeah.
That would be the time.
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Just the same thing is true as Greg described just a little bit ago.
Correct.
For that situation. It will be at the later
Yes,
time. We can do
I got a
anything.
longer stretch. He's only,
Yeah.
I run, but when we done the front end, when he done the front end and stuff, took the house down and they put the stone in, my shrub line, they put gravel clear up into my shrub line, and my property line is 3 foot on this side toward the station for Townsend's, and so they should have been 5 foot from that. But seeing that the state was going to do a bunch of work there and change all that anyhow, I didn't say anything, but I need to know who's going to put, at some time, I don't think it'd be him, I believe it'd be the state to put back my surveyor stakes and stuff like that, which would be with the state. But still, what I'm looking, they're asking about is putting some kind of a barricade for the noise, the dust, and whatever else, just looking at all the other stuff, and like keeping like maybe shrub, which I would try to keep up as long as I'm sticking around here. Okay? Well, thank you for your time.
A suggestion to you on that,
I'm sorry?
a suggestion to you on that request, I would suggest you contact Jeremy Gilbert, who's the city operations manager, who will be the liaison between the city of Decatur and the Indiana Department of Transportation during that construction project.
Well, that part, I worked construction for 45 years.
Okay.
I've built a lot of roads, so I know pretty much already what's going to happen. The only thing I need, like I say, is if Greg agrees to it, I have no problem. But I want some shrubs to keep the noise down, the dust down, because I got to fill blacktop it. And I'd like to have that in writing, so if he moves, it's still in the deal. So I got something to come back on. I'm just trying to keep, like I'm saying, keep the dust and the noise and the view. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else to speak in opposition? Anyone who wishes to speak in favor?
One comment I'd like to make, I know both these guys, and when we do something, I will address their concerns and we'll take care of it.
Okay.
I think everybody knows me.
We'll make certain everyone's happy, hopefully.
Yes.
The end. Okay, time for the board's final questions and comments to the applicant.
With the requests from both of the gentlemen of Mr. Townsend and his future development, the fact that the city attorney is not here, I know that, or I feel very strongly that what you're requesting can be accommodated. I question the language that is necessary to make sure of the documentation.
I think that's a problems that will be addressed through the plan commission when they do site development. It's not really a rezoning issue, it's more of a site development. And the landscape ordinance addresses that already with requirements of buffering against residential areas.
And Indiana Department of Transportation will make some, not financial restitution, but recovery and replacement of that land and the landscaping when they're finished.
I assume so, but I'm not in on what their restoration is. But that would be between the property owner and the state highway.
Well, so my question, or the item that I want to throw out for conversation is, should we continue this to the next meeting and have the city attorney weigh in on where this language needs to be prior to making the recommendation to city council?
That would be up to the board.
I would say no. All we're addressing tonight is rezoning, and like you pointed out, and like Sharon just pointed out, when it comes to site plan review, at that point, you can get Dwight involved with the landscaping, and Gary and the gentleman, they can throw their comments in at that time, and then at that point it can be addressed, and then that point we'll have the attorney looking into it also. So
The drainage will also be looked at that same time.
yeah, I think let's go ahead and address the rezoning, and that's what Greg is asking tonight, and he did point out that he would cooperate with the landowners around there, and I believe he will, but address that at the appropriate time.
The only question I had, you aren't going to raise those houses right now.
No. That calls for a permit too, Larry. So he'll have to come in front of the building and planning for even the destruction permit and whatever, so.
Any other questions or comments?
I have none.
Anyone? Okay, then, I guess we have three options here. We are to strike 2. I guess I'll read them and you can, I don't know if we want to, I'll read down here, okay. The first one is recommend to your honorable body that such petition be approved and granted and the proposed amendatory ordinance be adopted. Secondly, recommend to your honorable body that such petition be rejected and denied and that the proposed amendatory ordinance be rejected. Or C, no recommendation to your honorable body on the petition, and this is to the city council. The City Plan Commission does now and hereby certifies that such action of Plan Commission to the Common Council. The City of Decatur certifies to such council the aforesaid petition, the proposed amendatory ordinance, and recommends to your honorable body that such petition be approved, denied, and such proposed amendatory ordinance be adopted or rejected. So I guess we need a motion to whatever you wish to do. So I open to a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend to the honorable body A.
Okay?
Second?
Motion's been made and second. Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So the motion will then be, or the decision will then be passed on to the city council, I would assume, this evening, and they'll hear the action that we took this afternoon. Next, we have any old business or any discussion of anything? Any none? Any new business?
We have 2 pending applications that haven't been scheduled yet. The first one is Pizza Hut is planning on building a new building. They're going to try to keep their current building open while they build their new facility to the north of their existing building. The second application is Village Green Storage Unit. And if you recall, 2 years ago, they got Plan Commission approval for buildings 1, 2, and 3, and then there was a sewer easement issue on the remaining property, and they relaid out their warehouses, and so they're asking for site plan approval for the remaining property.
Okay.
It should be within the next 4 to 6 weeks, or sometime in July.
Have they started moving dirt out there already?
I'm sorry,
Are they're out moving dirt now?
at Village Green?
Yeah.
No, they're actually in the process of putting up their building number 3, which was approved 2 years ago.
Okay, so that's what they're working on now. Okay.
They got all the framework.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I do have a question about the Village Green application that's going to come before us. At that previous application where they amended their plans because of that sewer easement that was found by the city engineer, who we no longer have as a city engineer. What is the process that's been in place for review of those projects now that we don't have a city engineer on staff?
I believe the mayor has it in place.
Yeah, we're hiring consultants right now.
Okay.
Engineering consultants for any project that takes engineering.
So there will be an engineering review before this group would see it.
I'll check with Roger and the sewage department and see if they're satisfied with the plans that they've submitted, and if they require additional review, then we'll have an engineering firm look at it.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other questions of Sharon or comments from the board? This is one of our shortest meetings. I hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
The motion is made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those same sign, and the motion carries. Thank you all.